situation, with his baby brother dying, they still had faith and they prayed every night, and that was the miracle that saved them. So now thinking about this, we have this really awesome quote. Could I have Kang read this quote for me?
When we took Torito to the hospital, the doctor told us my son would be dying because we had waited too long to take him there. He said it would take a miracle for him to live. He was right, it took a miracle.
Alright, there's this fantastic quote that I see in so many of your papers. And when I was reading, I was like, wow, this person who found this quote, they did a lot of research. They really looked in depth at this chapter. What was that one quote that framed that lesson the best? And a lot of people came up with this quote. The problem that I saw when I was reading the papers is that after you said your topic sentence, you jumped right in and said, Mama said, when we took Teresa to the hospital, and then you finished the quote. No one told me who is Teresa. No one told me what the situation was. No one told me anything surrounding the situation. So I'm there sitting reading, and I'm like, well, since I'm supposed to pretend I've never read this book before, it's assuming that I have all this prior knowledge that I don't actually have. So that's where I thought, all right, it's time to do a little refresher, and we're going to do context for quotes. So what happens before this quote happened, Gabby? Who got sick? Teresa got sick. And what did doctors say, Rondell?
The doctor said that their son would die because they waited too long.
Okay, and who is Teresa? Sorry, I spit. Who is Teresa, and who is he related to?
In that chapter, Torito is the youngest brother
Okay.
of the family. He's related to Roberto, Panchito, Mama, and Papa.
Okay, so Teresa was one of the siblings of Francisco. Nobody told me that, so that's why we're going to go through this. All right? So the things that you need to go through, and this is just kind of thinking about our information in order to frame that context, is the who. First things first, is this dialogue? Yes, it is, so please check the box on your packets. So flip the page and check the box. So you're going to check yes for dialogue. Yes for dialogue, yep. And then the who. The who is Mama is telling Francisco and Roberto about the doctor's response to Teresa's health. The conversation that Mama is telling her children about is between the doctor and herself. So I see Gabby writing. And we're right on time for an N. You guys are doing great. 15 more minutes for a G, and then we have one more ring flip. So the who again is Mama's telling Francisco and Roberto about the doctor's response to Teresa's health, and the conversation that Mama's telling her children about is between the doctor and herself. So those are all the people involved in this quotation.